Oh, going back to some lies, something I haven't done in quite some time. I've just been. Oh yeah, I forgot that this is something that happens in this game. God dang it. And also I think we have to move the camera over here, if I remember correct. Um, yep. It's been since the last time I played this on stream. Since I last played this, I don't know. I was getting like I was missing a little bit of Souls-like experience, and also I didn't want to play Elden Ring again right now because I really want to play Elden Ring in seamless co-op with a friend at some point in hopefully the near future. I have a couple of friends in mind that I would like to do this with, but it depends on them, their time, and their schedule, and all that stuff as well. And also, man, going back and like replaying the entirety of Elden Ring, it's a bit of an undertaking. So, forgive me for wanting to pick something a little bit shorter. Or at least not as expansive and open and etc. This fan keeps squeaking. Could you not? I don't know how to make the fan not squeak, apart from jostle it and then it stops squeaking for some time, sometimes. So yeah. So it's been like a month since I've played this almost. So I don't remember a whole lot of what I'm supposed to be doing. I also am not entirely sure I'm going to be able to remember all the controls. um, like that. What's this? What's the grinder button? I forget. Well, maybe I just can't do the grinder in this room. Okay. Let's go to where the wine bottle is, I guess. I guess I picked up a wine bottle that I'm assuming I have to deliver to somebody. Sounds right. Sounds familiar. I don't remember a ding-dang thing about what I have equipped. So this will be interesting. Yeah. Ugh, this freaking fan. Squeakers. Slow it down, maybe it won't be the squeaking. But I need my fans on because it's warm in here. Stupidly so. I'm also glad that I'm streaming now because I did manage to have a little bit of a lie down beforehand, which means hopefully I'm going to be able to stream for longer today because I already had a bit of a rest. And also, I'm going to be going to my hometown for Thanksgiving. Oh, this is what I have? Okay. I don't remember. Cool. What do I press for? That's not that. Nope. That's the block. We got light and heavy attack. How do I do the grinding? Nope. What's the grinder button? Oh, hold this. That's what I did. Cool. Glad I got that figured out. I think there's gonna be puppets around here. Okay, so I don't know where I need to go to put the wine. So we shall see. Tum-ty-tum-ty-tum. Hello. Oh, that's a little bit loud in my ears. Let's turn that down again. Hello. Thing is, like, I really love Elden Ring. It's not my favorite game in its genre, but it is, like, my number 2. Bloodborne's number 1 just because, like, it's very focused in what it wants its gameplay to be, while still allowing for a lot of creativity and build variety with the different weapons, and also each weapon is pretty unique. Elden Ring allows for the most variety by a pretty significant margin, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. But I do find myself intimidated to go back and replay Elden Ring again, because I've gone through the game and, like, beaten it a couple of times. Hey! First try. Commemorative coin. What does that do? Collectible. It's engraved with his face. Alright. I guess, I think this... Use the stopwatch to get back to the place, right? Yeah. Yeah, like... I really have a lot of fun ideas that I want to, like, oh man, I'd love to play through, I'd love to have, you know, an Elden Ring experience with, you know, this kind of build or that kind of build, because there's so many different options, but the game is so huge and takes so long that getting to a point where, like, I'm experiencing the builds that I am thinking of is in and of itself a whole ass undertaking, so, you know, maybe avoid that if I can, a little bit. Do you like the coin? Nope. Okay. Do you like the coin?
The House of Stride.
Aha!
The foundation
There we go.
is a sort of, well,
Yeah, it's a fan club. Take care of it. Half Moonstone. Great, thanks.
The House of...
And yeah, okay. Is that useful for anything I have here?
I know my way
What am I doing? Upgrade weapon? Yeah. Oh, it's just there. Hidden Moonstones, Crescent Moonstones. Nothing's asking for half, so I guess I'm fine. What are my stats, even? Okay, those are my stats. Understood. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. I should go... Wait, should I go to the gold tree? Because I forget if it works with out-of-game time or just in-game time. 5 out of 8. I mean, I'm not really using them anyway. But I guess I'll go grab them because my brain wants to. Yeah. Lies of Pinocchio. Pinocchio. That's the name of the stream today. Do you get it? I mean, I hope you do, because I feel like I just kind of explained it a little.
Stalker.
Hey, what's up? Star Fragments. What do these do again? Alright, summon specters. Yes. Getting another one of these, because now you're making me buy them. Super dope that you're making me buy them. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to assume that over here is the furthest to the right is the one that I'm supposed to go to. It's been a month, and I've had a hell of a week in the past bit, which I explained last stream, especially going into the most detail, I guess. That some of which was also experienced in the stream before that. That was like 5 hours long. It was kind of weird. Just weird that I had a stream that long when I wasn't even planning on streaming for very long. But it worked out for me, I guess. Anyway. Oh, yeah. I took a pause with this game for a month in the bit where I have 4 different directions to choose to go in, and I don't remember which one I'm supposed to go. Oh, no. Well, it looks like I opened these doors that way, which means that was opening a shortcut, so I hope this is leading me to where I need to be. Oh, wait, and also, got different folks here, so I think I want to use fire weapon, because it's, yes, it's cadavers. Cadavers. Oh? Oh, first try. Really? Or is this another shortcut? Alright. Did I actually just first try that? Good for me.
Exhibition theme was
Hell yeah, me.
Puppets and City of the Future. The plan was to showcase and demonstrate the most advanced
I have that.
technology
Okay.
in Krat. But you know the rest. You can't hold an exhibition in a city that's fallen into utter chaos. And now the whole city is an exhibition of a nightmare.
Oh. Nice. Well, I'm just happy that I went to the right place first try. That just feels good in my brain. Dark Moon, Son of the Covenant. Oh, is this going to be where I start encountering the things that are weak to acid? Because that might be it. That might be the case. But I guess I'm picking up stuff first. This wonky song playing on the speakers is hilarious. It's like, it's just getting slightly detuned because the speaker's damaged or something. You alright there, buddy? Oh, anything of interest over here? Circle around. Circle the wagons. Okay, cool. It's the electrically powered puppets that are weak to acid. I remember that because I remember looking this up. So that's over there, and I could go up there, but I want to know what's over here first. Explore the ground floor before going to the top, or just making any kind of ascension whatsoever. Perpetually going out of tune. It's so bad. Oh boy. Okay, and that's that door, and this I can't open from this side. Ow, my toe. That's a Stargazer in there. Okay. Oh. Yep. Thanks, game. Oh. Well. Environmental storytelling through glitches. Hey, you want to go in here? Take a good look. You can't. And now we're gonna put a door in the way that Fen tells you you can't go in. That's funny. Oh man, that music. I need to get away from it. It's hurting my soul. I guess, oh wait. No, that's cover box. Alright, yes, this is the way to go. Always go the way that looks like you're not supposed to go first, because there's usually something there. Get on the thingy. Hello, boy. Aha. Okie dokie. Yep, that's some textures loading. My computer is a good computer that runs well all the time and is state of the art. Unfortunately, the art that it is the state of is old. It's old art. State of the old art. Oh boy. Okay. Guess I just dropped down. I guess I just dropped down. Robots. Alright. Apparently just regular robots right now. Cool. And then can I go and open this door now? Open? I opened the door. So this door did not open from the other side, but it was a pull door from inside. I could have pushed that. I could have pushed that. I'm a strong boy. Oh. Ah. Ah, yes. And now I'll use the Stargazer. Switch Legion Arm. I'm not using fire stuff. I don't know if I want to use electric or acid yet, because I think I might be encountering things that are weak to acid here, but until I do, stick with electric. Electric. Oh, that's a boy. I don't know what I meant by that. It's a boy. Hello. Well, hey. Hello, friend. Oh. Gotcha. I can tell that I'm slightly rusty, but maybe that's for the best. Because I'll be relearning the timing of this freaking parry that feels weird every time I try to use it. Thingy! I want to get that thingy. Guess I'll have to go past you. Hello. Aha! Hold this button, do this. Yes, I remember how I do things now. Okay. Another one. Well, that worked. Now I've got this guy. Hello, this guy. Nope. Gotcha. Oh, is that another blue? I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die. I, unironically, love the entire album called Europop by Eiffel 65. That's the song that Blue was on, as well as pretty much all the other songs that everyone knows by them. If not actually, yes, all the songs everyone knows by them. Those other ones being probably the ones that you know would be Blue and Move Your Body. Those are probably the only two. But if I remember correctly, there's like 11 or 12 songs on that album, and I like all of them, so it's a good album. Get off my giblets, Mrs. Anderson. I don't know what I just said. It looks like my stream was chugging a little bit on my recording, so I'm gonna, I don't know, close my browser. Hopefully that'll help. It'll probably be a little janky for a sec while my computer realizes that I'm, you know, doing a thing, and hopefully that'll fix it. I don't even know if there was actually a problem. It just looked a little janky in my capture. My Streamlabs. Oh, one of you again. Yep. Yeah! Oh, multiple of you. So many. Ouch. 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 Hello, big boy. Hello. Oh, really? Is it gonna let me do that? And then he hit back. Cool, thanks. Just keep you between me and they do throwing stuff. Because maybe he'll hit you. And maybe it would have done something, but it did not. Okay. Gotcha. Now there's you. I'm a coming up! There we go. I think when I... Oh. You've got Butterfly? Butterfly! I think when I do actually finish this game this time... and that is there. That's cool. I will engage with that. I think once I've done that, I will actually go and reinstall Dark Souls 3 and try to do my revisit of that game, because it's been a long time since I played it, and I'm very curious to see, like, how my opinion of it may or may not have changed since playing a whole bunch of other Souls-likes and Souls games since Seaboy aspect of the game, but ain't got the base support. That's so fair. There are things about this game I really like in terms of, like, how it handles the formula of these kinds of games, but there are other things that I think are not as effective, or not as, like, not as intuitive as I would like. The parry being, like, the big one. And the fact that there are, like, specifically designed to be unblockable attacks that are only blockable if you do a perfect parry, and, like, you know. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of with this game specifically... Strength amulet. Oh, nice. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is the fact that, like, there's 3 distinct enemy types, as far as I remember. Because it's been really... Because I did play this game before, but years and years ago. And then, you know, started playing it again on stream. But there's, like, 3 distinct enemy types, and each one is weak to a specific elemental damage. And that's just always going to be the case. And so it really incentivizes you to just kind of go, oh, cool, I'll just go for an elemental build, and depending on what enemies I'm fighting, I'll use that element, because I don't remember them ever, like, intermingling the different enemy types. Like, so right now I'm in an area that is full of puppets, which means they're weak to electric, so I'm just going to use all electric stuff. And in other parts of the game, is fighting zombies, and they're weak to fire, so I just use all fire stuff. And there's going to be enemies that are weak to acid, and I'll just use acid stuff when I fight them. But I don't think I don't remember being in a situation where I had to, like, deal with puppets and zombies at the same time, so I had to be like, oh no, I need something that's going to be consistently strong against both, or anything like that. But also you can carry 2 weapons, so if I do encounter zombies, I also have this. So that's, like, a little bit of a nitpick. And also, like, I don't know. I have a lot of nitpicks with this game, but I think I have a lot of nitpicks with this game because I think there's so much about it that I do like, that everything that I get frustrated by is just that much more obvious to me. Especially when I've played games that have done certain things that this game also did a little bit better. So that's also factored. Ow. Ow, yep. For a second, I thought I wasn't going to be able to swing my weapon in this area, on this. Oh my god, I can't. That's disconcerting. Weapon too hefty. Cannot swing on bridge. That's bad. Yep. That might result in my death. This issue. Okay, that's fun. That's fun for me. Ow. Good thing I have this other arm. That sucked. Ugh. Okay. And you're just standing there? Menacingly? Okay. Is this really what I have to do? Oh, that's a ladder. What happens if I go down this ladder?
I get the puppets, but what are the
Oh, hello.
monsters doing here?
Who are you? I don't remember you.
Don't come any closer. Oh,
Belle.
you're not one of them.
All right.
Are you here to save me? Those grand exhibition jerks are not to be messed with. Especially after they took that drug.
A drug.
Then there are those biological experiments. Oh, how horrid.
Hmm.
I can't reveal everything, but suffice it
I
to
escaped
say
my own to
I
clear the
can
way a bit.
use-
You got it. Will do. We should get into it. I was told it has an amazing story.
Please, it'll be easy.
Honestly, the story for me is I had the hardest time getting into for this game specifically. Like, I'm not entirely sure why. But, it's like, I don't know. Like, it never grabbed me. I've tried to play through this game a couple of times, and I've, like, I say a couple of times. I've played through this game once for sure. A long time ago. Oops. 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 Love that for me. Yeah. I don't know. The story never really grabbed me, but, like, I think that's because, like, I don't know. Like, the stuff that was left up to the imagination, not imagination, the stuff that felt like a mystery, I didn't really feel like there was a whole lot there in that regard. Or at least not in a way that, like, felt like, for me, it was, like, it didn't make me care a whole lot about the people the story was affecting, or the, what's the word? Or the connection to the story or whatever. Like, I don't know. Because, I mean, the story in this is, you kind of wake up, you're a puppet, and you have, you know, Jiminy Cricket, also called Gemini, spelled Gemini in this game, which is very cute. It's like, alright, there's a puppet uprising. Like, okay, so we're doing a robot uprising plot, got it. And it's like, what made the robots go crazy? I don't know. Is it that mysterious? Because, like, we've dealt with so many robot uprising stories in fiction, it's like, I don't know, man. Could be anything. Protagonist? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, playing as Pinocchio, but obviously this is a different kind of Pinocchio based off of the original story on some level, I can only assume. Don't know a whole lot about the original story and how, like, it's different from the Disney thing. I just know that it is. You know, it's another take on Pinocchio, but I don't really care about the Pinocchio story. So that's also a factor. So yeah, I don't know. I have a limited level of, like, care for this world, and none of the people in it really make me feel like I should. But that's just me. And if other people get that out of this game, honestly, I wish I was like that, because, you know, I would have more fun with this. I really don't want to fight you on this freaking bridge. Is there any way I can not deal with you? Or at least deal with you elsewhere? On a slightly wider section of bridge. Oh, hello. Great. 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 At least you're dead now. Awesome. Ugh. Yeah, and, like, so there's other factors of, like, oh man, like, you're Pinocchio, and, you know, puppets can't lie, but you're a puppet who can. Why? Because, and I only say not because I think it's a bad story beat or a bad, like, plot device or bad writing. It's just because I didn't get engaged enough to remember. And, like, okay, something I've noticed about From Software titles in this genre, because I have other games, is that, like, with Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne, and Sekiro, because I've played one game from each of those, at least. With every single one of those, the protagonist, and what gives you to feel connected to the protagonist, an emotional connection? None of them. Because their personality is blank. It is just blank face. This is who they are. They are blank face protagonists. I don't get, like, a sense of connection to a protagonist when playing these games. I do get a sense of connection to, like, other characters in the story. A great example would be in Dark Souls 3. I really love Henri and Grey Rat, and even Hawkwood's story is really interesting to me. Like, all these NPCs that are around, like Henri and Horace, Grey Rat, yeah. And in Bloodborne, I'm very curious about, like, you know, Gehrman and the doll, and Gascoigne and his family, and, like, what the hell is Alfred's deal, and Eileen. Oh my god, I want to know everything about Eileen. And in Elden Ring, like, I don't know, so each one of these games is very much like you are existing in this world and you're an important part of the story developing, but you're not part of the narrative exactly, or you're not part of you are a figure that helps move the plot along. You're not necessarily the main character in a lot of ways, especially in Elden Ring, actually. Because, like, the main characters of Elden Ring are, like, Ronnie and Melina, and who else would be a good example of that? Like, I say Ronnie is actually probably, like, a protagonist or one of the main characters and stuff like that, but, like, your character's there to help their plot move. Your character doesn't really have a goal beyond, you know, the player's goal, which is go beat the game. And so this is actually an interesting difference that these games have between storytelling and story versus lore, because the lore of each one of those games, you know, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro, Bloodborne, all of those games have, almost fell over, all those games have incredible lore. Very deep world building with all kinds of stuff that, like, you know, through reading item descriptions and all the weird things that you have to do in order to learn any dang thing about the how these games worlds work and what their stories are. When you do learn that stuff, it's fascinating. And then, you know, like, you watch VaatiVidya for 18 hours and you go and play the games again and go, oh, I have a whole new perspective. But so, like, incredibly written lore for these games, for Souls likes and Souls games, usually. I say usually because I'm talking about specifically From Software's ones, not to criticize this one specifically. It's just, you know, that's their strong point. But that's the lore. The actual story, I would defy any singular person to go through any of those games, even the most linear of them, for a first time without any kind of anything, and try to figure out what the actual plot is. like in terms of, like, what is the story, what is your character doing beyond what you see the character do in gameplay? Like, what does it mean at all? And, like, you're gonna have people tell you about what you're doing in a way that, like, okay, something that I've, like, a way I've tried to phrase this a lot, and I really want to come across, I'm gonna try to, like, kite some of these people away so I don't have to deal with them as much, is that, oops, okay, hold on. Oh, one more. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, game. Okay. As I was saying, From Software's games, their characters talk to your character like your character knows what's going on, regardless of whether or not the player knows what's going on. And so, like, it's not that they don't give any exposition. It's just that the way that the exposition is framed and delivered is like, no, you know how the world works already. You know what these words I'm saying mean. Like, use the Dark Souls example. Yeah, yes, that, you know what? Difficulty getting into it because of narrative versus lore. Watch VaatiVidya's videos because you will get. Oh, okay. Ow! Rude. Rude. Yeah. So VaatiVidya's content on all of these games is excellent because it, you know, he does the research. Very few people at the time, now a lot of people are really into it, but a lot of people aren't willing to put the time and efforts and, like, energy, and understandably so, into learning what the actual story is. But, like, the thing about, I mean, I'm gonna use Dark Souls 3 as the example because I've played through that one the most, I think, at this point, in terms of, like, multiple playthroughs. I also think it's one of the more linear games, so, like, it's not like if one thing happens, something else doesn't happen. But, like, so there's the lore of the Dark Souls world, but then the story of Dark Souls 3 is about the end of the world and whether or not, you know, it's right to prevent that, because the end of the world isn't necessarily the end of everything. But at the same time, you have the story of the people around you, the multiple stories of the people around you, and you have to go through the game in order to see how those stories play out. And, like, some of them are really cool, some of them don't really go anywhere. Some of them are just people there to be NPCs. And they deliver exposition in these games, in those games, like, you know what's going on. Which, if you do, it's great. If you don't, it's confusing. Like, you know, you meet, like, the first interaction in Elden Ring, the first guy you talk to, you go through, you know, the usual Souls game beginning, which is, you know, you start and you walk into a place and you encounter a very strong enemy that just immediately kills you, and then you get sent to the actual starting area. And then you... Oh, what are you? Oh, okay. Hello, friend. You have guns. Sorry, I used up all my stamina by rolling. We're good now. Yeah, so the first guy you talk to in Elden Ring, he's like, oh, you're a Tarnished. That's interesting. You've come to become Elden Lord. Basically saying, like, oh, you're a player character. You've come to beat the game? That's interesting. But then he goes, unfortunately for you, you're maidenless, and you're gonna have to get yourself a maiden before you can do anything. And I'm like, why? What does that mean? What? Like, I know that I'm supposed to become Elden Lord because that's what the point of the game is, because that's what beating the game sounds like. What does it mean to be Tarnished? Why do I want to be Elden Lord? Why am I maidenless? Why do I need a maiden in order to do these things? I don't know. And then and, you know, the game never says why you need a maiden, for example. But you do meet a character who then, like, plays the role of maiden for you, and, like, and what she does is let you level up. And I'm like, oh, so is that what that means? Is there, like, a story explanation for what that means? I guess. But at the same time, like, your character is a storytelling device more than a character. It's like, because there's multiple endings in most of these games, if not all of these games, it is, you know, how do you want the lore of this story to play out? Pointless side quests drive me insane. Pointless ones drive me insane too. I have so many thoughts about side quests and how they are designed and structured. What's nice about these games is that in a lot of ways they're kind of take it or leave it in some aspects, but also at the same time, it's they're really convoluted, which is another issue. Which is like, if you don't know how to get the side quests done, chances are you're not going to. which sounds, you know, obvious. If you don't know how to do the thing, you're not going to be able to do the thing. But, like, nothing in the game really tells you how to do it. You just have to, like, make inferences and go, oh, if this says that, that means maybe if I tried that over here, maybe that means something. And, like, yeah. Point being, the main character that you play as in these games, I say the main character, so, like, your character in these games, generally speaking, are devices through which the plot concludes. It is not a character journey on your part. And, you know, I would really like that to be more of a thing. The closest I've gotten is with Sekiro, because it is, like, very specifically about, like... what am I doing? It's very specifically about, like, you're not making a custom character and, like, you know... Oh my god! I'm like, I know I could play better, but I'm also thinking about these games and talking. But, Sekiro, like, has a story, like, your character has dialogue and talks to people, which is something that most of these games don't have. The closest you get is, you go talk to somebody, you press the talk button, they talk at you, and then you decide kind of, like, how to respond. You know, whether it's like, oh, give them this item that you're carrying, or tell them about this thing that you saw, and that's it. That's like the extent of your character's interactions. It's pretty much like, let this story progress or don't. And, you know, depending on whether or not you know what that story progressing actually means, you may or may not want to actually do that. Like, there's a character quest in Elden Ring where, like, you could show her this thing that makes her question her entire existence, and then she goes down a bit of an existential, existential dread. You're not, no, don't worry about the dread. Don't come to me to watch good gameplay. Come to me for entertainment purposes and interaction, because that's what I want to give, and I don't want to be a, like, hashtag gamer. I don't want to be super good at these games. I want to have fun. So, like, talking to people is significantly more entertaining than... Hello! Oh! Are you a mutiny dude? Okay, I think you look like you're not gonna be weak to, electric. Ow. Ow. I'm playing this game like a Souls game. Like dodging is more effective than parrying, and that's my mistake. Ouch! Fucking suplexing me? Okay. Ow! This is bad. I can only assume it's a shortcut that I forgot to unlock or missed somehow, because I am far away from a thing. I'm far away from anything. Oh, that's what that does? Great. Super glad. Ah. Again, great. Cube. Ah. Whoa. Oh, that was a grab attack. I'm definitely dead now. Crap. What was I saying? Yeah, so, like, generally speaking, the storytelling of these games is, like, you watch what happens to the people around you, and you kind of decide whether or not their story goes in direction A or B. And unfortunately, in a lot of these instances, direction B means it just doesn't progress anywhere. Which, you know, I would say not great as far as, like, storytelling goes. Again, excellent lore in these games. Phenomenal lore in these games. Storytelling... and that's why I get frustrated by these games even being nominated, let alone winning sometimes best storytelling at, like, Video Game Awards and stuff. Because I don't remember if Elden Ring actually won best storytelling. but it shouldn't have. Not because I think that, you know, there are narrative aspects of that game that are bad. It's just not a storytelling experience. It is phenomenal world building and lore experience. Storytelling, no. And those are different things, and people need to realize that those are different things. And it would be nice if there was, like, a different, category for, like, world building versus, storytelling in that kind of award situation. Not that I care too much about whether or not a game gets awards, unless it's a game that I feel like really deserves them and otherwise would be underappreciated. But, like, you know, it's just, oh, I can't believe I have to do this again. Unless, like, I must have missed some kind of shortcut. I must have. I just don't know where it is, because, you know, I missed it. Ah! Whoa, whoa, ah. But yeah, like, your character doesn't have an arc in these games, generally speaking. I think in this game, Pinocchio does have an arc, but he doesn't experience it. Bigger with the Dead Space series. I haven't played Dead Space. And I haven't because, one, I never owned the systems it was on. I know now that I think now there are, like, versions that are on PC, but I don't have money to play them, so that's one reason. Another reason is that, no! Oh, that was bad. I need to rest at a thingy. Or maybe I don't. Another reason is that, Dead Space is spooky, and I don't like being scared. But if I remember correctly, I've heard people criticize later titles of that series as, like, oh, oops. So that shortcut. That's great. Oh, lovely. What am I doing? Okay. I've heard people criticize the Dead Space series as it progresses because it becomes, like, less of a horror game and more of an action game. But I heard that criticism specifically being responded to by somebody saying that, like, it makes sense for the character because he gets more badass as the series progresses. I'm like, that's, you know what? Not a bad thought. Oh, phone. Where's the phone? Thank you, game.
Another fine day in the city of God. But if your goal is to study the human condition, there's no today's riddle might have you over the barrel. Now, listen
Yes.
about this. Whatever
What
it
cannot be
is,
used before it
what
breaks?
cannot be used before it breaks.
Two options, egg or glass. Egg.
Correct. You were
Also, that's not
such
true.
a fool, yet you've gotten so in this city. How about you look
Yeah. You can use eggs before they're broken. You just can't, you know, cook with them before they're broken. No, yes you can. You can poach eggs and soft boil eggs and not... It's a bad riddle. It's a bad riddle, dude. Anyway, yeah. So, I don't know a ding-dang thing about Dead Space. But I do love games with really good story, and, man, sometimes, games with really good story have really not great gameplay, and that makes me sad. And also the opposite often happens. And then sometimes, like, I have experienced people really praising a game for its story, just because it's a game with a story. Not huge on that. Oh, hello. Who goes there? So, are you folks I'm supposed to be hitting with acid stuff, or are you humans? Anyway, we're fine. Is there a shortcut I missed somewhere, please? Is this... This isn't where I came out of. They tried to make it more of a shooter. Yeah. I did get that impression. Well, I say that, but, like, don't really have much of an impression of that game. Hello. Cool. Survivor horror is my favorite genre. That's awesome. Like, there are a lot of things that I like about that genre in theory, but again, I don't like being scared. I'm okay with being, like, creeped out and unnerved, but, like, jump scares are one of my least favorite things to put in anything. I just think, like, I just know thank you in general. There we go. And I know that Dead Space has a lot of them. Legion plug. Nice. That's good. That's a good thing to have. Okay. Yeah, like... Oh, excuse me. Although, like, I have been really curious about the Resident Evil 4 remake, and I've never really played a Resident Evil before. And I know that Resident Evil 4 especially is, like, praised so heavily by so many people. So I've been curious to try it out, even though I know that it is kind of, like, spooky. Like, I'm fine with, like, horror themes and, like, scary and unnerving visuals and stuff, but, like, straight up just, like, frightening people does not make me happy. And I'm trying to think if there's something that, like, really bridges that gap really well. I'm trying to think, because I know that there are some things. Like, you know, a great example, actually. One of my favorite movies of all time, is Black Swan. That movie is disturbing and unsettling and not comfortable at all. But there are very, very few moments, like, I could probably count them on one hand if I tried, but I haven't seen the movie in a long time, so I could be remembering differently. Very few moments where, like, something just straight up jumps out at you and goes like, ah! And, you know, Resident Evil 4 is mad, but I like horror. Ooh. Hashtag hot take, I guess. I don't know. I just heard a lot of people like it. Thanks. Thank you, person, for doing this to me, you freaking ogre. Let me grab this. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Woo! What's this? I forget what the... Ow! Okay, healed. Ow! Okay, that too. Great. Never seen it, which is crazier for all the horror I like. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a horror movie. It's not. It's like, it's a psychological thriller, I think is what I would call it. You know, that terminology. And that's a lot more my speed in terms of scary stuff. No, I did the thing, you bastard! Let me hit you. Thank you for letting me hit you. Gotcha that time. Uh-oh. Woo! Woo! Gotcha. Trying to think of other, like, movies I could describe as, like, kind of like horror movies, or, like, you know, horror adjacent content.